Why can't they just listen to me?
Started racing legend cars. It took me like 5 races to figure out how to release the clutch and get going in the proper way. So,
Keep at it. Consistency. You're going to bang into walls, challenges, hurdles.
We got to do it the right way. If you do it the right way, it takes care of you. So
we're not looking to rush to the top. We're looking to stay on top. I'm there to win every single day, every single month. So
the best way to advertise yourself is to just win. Like to just do good and just do what you're going to do, and it'll speak for itself.
Are you wasting your time and money on inefficiencies in the business? Are sales down and lead conversion rates are low? Are you having problems building or maintaining inventory levels? What does it really take to win in the automotive industry?
Get the cars that make sense for your store rather than just wishing at an auction, so it gives you that better control.
With over 25 years of experience, Darrel the Wolf Steed isn't just another industry voice. He's the guy who's out there solving real problems for dealers just like you.
They'll even say in the Pacific Northwest where you're at that it's a tougher market. It's it's tougher to find cars. The market's a little bit softer, and in the midst of all this, your turn doubled and your profits up 75%.
Yes.
The truth hurts only when it should. Are you ready to hear the truths? Darrell is here to unpack the hard truths and the proven strategies that will take your dealership from struggling to soaring. And he is taking it all in the streets, with real talk, open dialogue, unfiltered conversations. This is the podcast series, Street Smarts, powered by Smartwolf Consulting.
And welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Street Smarts, powered by Smartwolf Consulting. But today we're going to do a little something different, because we're going to be talking to a talent and legend in the racing circuit, somebody that I get fortunate to sponsor and be partners with Scott Allen Racing, and his name is Caleb Heady, who is locking it down on the racetrack in what one might think is a very odd-looking car, which we're going to talk about and show. It looks like a 1930s gangster car. However, when I first got to see one of these, it's literally up to like my mid-chest. So this thing slammed to the ground. It's tiny. And I'm glad everyone can see Caleb on the screen, but if he were to stand up, it would be an amazement, because I tried to fit my fat ass in this car, and I don't know how he gets in this thing, because I could not move once I slid into this thing.
Yeah.
So with no further ado, let's welcome Caleb to the podcast. And Caleb, welcome to the podcast. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, man. I've been racing since I was 11 years old. I'm first generation, so I like to think this is kind of just a lucky chance I've been given to kind of get into this industry. But I've been driving the legend car with Scott Allen. This is going to go on our second year now. I'm really excited for the opportunities we got. I'm primarily focused on the oval car, on the road course side of it. The past, vast majority of my racing experience has been in the oval side of it. I've won tons of stuff in the legend cars. I've won, 2 pro summer shootout championships, a bunch of Thursday Thunder stuff. We've won a bunch of stuff. So I'm very privileged and very happy to say, I've gotten my way around this stuff. Now I'm kind of being able to take a step back, kind of going into this with Scott, working with him, and I'm having really fun where I'm at. I've kind of switched mindsets really recently. Whereas a couple of years ago, it was just focused on, driving, trying to win races. And I'm not saying I'm not trying to win races now. That's the only reason I go to the racetrack is to win a race. I'm not showing up if I'm not going to win. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not the point to do it is to win. But, I'm having really fun, trying to get people in these cars and, teaching them. And, I'm really having a lot of enjoyment. It's a newfound love that I found for something I've done all my life. It's really interesting.
Well, that's great. And let's kind of start there. So kind of tells us where you're winning in your career. Where are you, we like to ask every guest, where are you winning in life? So we've heard kind of what you're doing with your career a little bit, but where are you winning in life? That gives you, that kind of just makes everybody kind of get connected to you.
Yeah, man. So what I'm really excited about now is, I'm doing it's Heady racing development. So I'm taking I've been, helping these kids out for a long time, and I'm I'm finally taking it to where, like, anybody who wants me there can get me there and, pick my brain and help me out. So, or get help from me, on the driver coaching side of things. There's a lot of stuff that, racing is one of those sports that's, it kind of just takes trial and error. Like, the only way to get good at it is to keep doing it repetitively and keep throwing yourself at the brick wall. Like, it's not going to break, but you got to keep throwing yourself at it until it does. Being there to help these kids, kind of point stuff out and, just show them that, how to do it the right way. All these kids try to rush into it and get into it and get as quick up the ladder as they can, but we got to do it the right way. If you do it the right way, it takes care of you. So, I'm very, very happy with what I got going on there. It's, 2 weeks ago, I won my first race as a coach, first race being, spotting, being at the racetrack. And, that was the most excited I've been in a very long time. I was way more excited than the kid was. I was way more excited than Dominic was when he won. So, it's really exciting. I like it.
That's great. And, it's funny you say that. So, guys, as you guys know that I deal with automotive dealerships and sales training for non-automotive stores. So I've now consulted on other businesses. But I want to point out what Caleb just said. Now, mind you, we don't rehearse anything. I'm not about the podcast of having like people know exactly what they're going to say. I like to be more conversational. So Caleb just mentioned two things about racing that I think is interesting because it translates to every single business. The first one that he said is that you have to keep at it. Consistency. You're going to bang into walls, challenges, hurdles, and you can give up. That's the easy thing to do and say it just doesn't work. Or you can grind through and face adversity and break through it. And you're going to eventually get to where you want to be as long as you keep charging through. The other thing that he said, which I thought was even more insightful, is that he wants to do it the right way. And if you heard it, I want to repeat it, is like a lot of these people get in. He said young kids, but in business, it's just people, right? And that they want to get in and they want to get to the top as quick as they can. And that doesn't happen. You got to do it the right way. You got to learn the things you need to do so you can be successful for consistency. Because I can tell you, Caleb has won quite a few things. He's done in different cars all across the board. But understanding how to do it in the right way so you have consistent success, that's a really big thing. And I love to hear that. And that's actually one of the big reasons when I partnered with Scott to sponsor you guys. And then eventually now we've partnered up on some things, was it's about winning. But it's not just about winning, right? Like, I agree with you. When I go into a store and do a project, listen, I'm not there to get second place. I'm there to dominate the market and to do what we need to do. But I don't want to do it in a way that's not going to be something where we win it once and people say, well, you got lucky. I'm there to win every single day, every single month. So it's great to see that translates to you, because winners, okay, they associate themselves with winners, right? Like, you want to be around people that have that same methodology and mentality. Now I know that you guys have started doing this development thing that you're helping kids along. And so I wanted to ask you a lot about that, because I do a lot of coaching and training, and now you've decided to throw your career into that, which I'm sure that there are accolades, like you just got to see Dominic win. And then there's trials and tribulations of like, why can't they just listen to me? So you have one young person on your team, Amelia, which I know her goal is to eventually get to those Legends cars. And then you just brought on another person, from what I understand, right? To kind of be in that, like, getting up to that level type of situation.
Yeah. So PJ Evans is going to be running our second road course car. He's going to be running a bunch for us, hopefully this year. But PJ, Legend cars have classes. So I'm in the pro class. I'm in the top division of Legend cars. And I, when we were trying to get somebody for the race car, I was trying to pick and choose who we were going to get. And then PJ reached out, and PJ's also a pro. And I was like, what can go wrong? Two people in the same class, what could go wrong? But PJ, I think PJ is an incredible talent. I'm very excited to get him behind the wheel. I've been able to watch him from afar, for a couple of years. And he's one of those kids and one of those names in the Legend car communities that kind of just keeps revolving around, and you always hear it every once in a while. So to finally be able to kind of like, get a hold of them and set them down in the race car and, drive my car, it's very exciting. I can't wait for that. And then trying to get Amelia back up to it. I'm very excited to see where she's going to end up. it's a lot of work. When I started racing legend cars, it took me like 5 races to figure out how to release the clutch and get going in the proper way. So, it's a lot of work, and it starts at a little pebble and it gets to a huge mountain. So it's, the journey is what I really enjoy about it. And that's what I'm excited. And that's what I try to, kind of give these kids is like, this is the way I did it. I think I grew up in such a unique way, at the racetrack, traveling around, kind of never at home, just living out of a suitcase. But it turned me into somebody that I'm very proud to be. So, I'm very excited to get these kids, moving in that direction. It's going to be a great time.
That's awesome. And did you start? So I know we had Amelia on, and her, we just released that podcast, but she, that's in editing, is that she started with go-karts. And now she's moving into the bando, which, I mean, all these cars amaze me. I mean, go-karts I was used to seeing. I've seen those before. But then I see this bando thing, and I was like, I'm definitely not trying to get in that car.
Those are weird, man. Those are weird.
Yeah, they're like little rocket ships that are like on wheels. And then you get into all the other cars. Now, for you, did you start there and then work your way up? And then the second part of that question would be you're in Legends now, and I know you want to dominate that and continue to win, but what comes after Legends? Is Legends where you just want to be the force, or are you looking at like the modifieds, NASCAR, things like that?
Yeah, so I got started into this kind of by luck. It was indoor go-karts. It was like rental, like K1 go-karts, basically. I live in Louisville, Kentucky, and we have an indoor go-kart track here. And my best friend we were 11 years old. So whatever grade 11 years old is, he had a birthday party there, and I got invited to the birthday party. And we went there, and I was like, wait, this is really fun. Back then I played the drums. I used to play saxophone. I was learning guitar. So I was like super into music and stuff. And I threw everything away, sold everything, got done. We're racing now. Like I'm life change right now happening. So it's, pretty much chance. Like I got into this just by chance. I don't think if that one event would have happened, I don't think I would be, sitting here talking to you about it. But, it's pretty lucky. I mean, it makes you appreciate it a lot differently. I had the privilege of running some modified stuff, and I'm running some late model stuff as well now. I'm kind of excited. I'm very happy with where I'm at. The modified was a really good time. We got to win, a couple races in that. We won a smart modified championship. I got my trophy and my flag sitting behind us for 2022. We won that. But with this legend car stuff, it's kind of where my heart's always been. I ran legend cars for 5 years, and then I got out of it and never really ran any legend car races for 2 or 3 years, maybe one here and there. And then, I really missed them. Like there's something about legend car racing that you just can't replicate anywhere else. It's kind of like hard nose, like there's no saving involved. There's no, you're leaving it all out there. Every lap's at 120%. There's no ulterior motives. You don't got to think about the end of the race. You just got to win. That's all it is. You just go out there and win the race, and it's, it's like checkers. It's fun. It's just simple. So I'm really excited with where I'm at. This driver development stuff is really cool too. So, with this late model stuff and the legend car stuff, I'm pretty happy where I'm at, just trying to build the business side of it and help these kids go to where they want to.
No, I think that's great. Like, you see a lot of people, like you said, and I think it's interesting at 11 that you had this epiphany, right? Like, let's get the guy. It usually takes us till 25 or 30 before we know what the hell we want to do, right? And you're like at 11, you're like, no, it's a wrap. Let's go.
Yeah.
But it's great to see that you're focused, right? It's great to see that you're like, okay, look, I want to race, and I want to race in these two areas, right? I want these type of vehicles, and I want to do this. But even more importantly, like, okay, now I want to build the business and development side up, like the understanding, like you could probably go do other things. You probably could be in 15 different arenas, but being so focused. And, I like to attribute that to obviously learning and developing is everyone, the phrase has come out, and gosh, I want to say it's the 1800s, but it says, the jack of all trades, master of none. Now, no one ever finishes that because there's actually more to that phrase, which is usually better than a master of one. Mm-hmm. So it's basically saying when you like try to be a little bit of everything, you're better. You're like a Swiss Army knife, right? You want someone like that because they can do a little bit of everything, because when you have one person that's focused, they're only good at that one thing. Now, the other side of it is the guy or the person like you who says, I want to be good at this one thing, that's what makes the business, right? Because you have to have someone with that type of intensity and focus of, I'm not going to go and try to be good at 6 different things. I'm going to be great at this. And then showing like, and I love the fact you said, do it right. And whether that's, you can do it right in a quick way or do it right over time, is not trying to just rush development, right? You want people to really feel good about it, do it, and then be able to represent a brand like Scott Allen Racing and your name as you guys get Heady Racing Development up, of like, this is how we do it. We're not looking to rush to the top. We're looking to stay on top. When we get there, that's where we are, right? And like, if it takes a little time, it takes a little time. So that's great. Now, I don't know if you got to see it yet, so hopefully I don't ruin this for you too, because I ruined it for Amelia. So hopefully I don't ruin it for you. Now, have you seen your guys' new fire suits?
Yes, I have.
Okay, you have seen.
I have seen them. Yes.
Amelia, she's like, I'm like, hey, have you seen your new suit? And she's like, no. I was like, damn, I ruined the surprise. But so I was pretty excited because I didn't know that we could do this. But where I wanted to go to that is, we're going to get to see a different side this year, which I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Scott and I were talking, is that we're going to be putting the cameras inside and actually getting in race footage of you guys, so that we get to, I mean, NASCAR's done this a little bit, but it's more of like, the view from the hood. Like, we're seeing you guys now in the intensity of this. And I think that's great because, like you said, I've now sat in one of those cars, guys. If you ever get an opportunity to sit in one of these cars, I wish you the best of luck, but you can get out of this thing. But like, just thinking about that, and then you're doing 100 and some odd miles. I mean, you guys are cooking through these tracks. Like, I don't think you can really even imagine it, but now we're going to get to see it live. What do you think about that? Having that like live aspect of racing and seeing, like, being in the moment with the drivers.
Everybody's going to be able to see how much chaos it is at all times. Like, it is, driving those legend cars are, you're white knuckling it, if you know what I mean. You're just holding on for dear life and, hoping it stays in the confines of the track. They're, it's a real hassle getting those little cars around the track. They don't, legend cars don't really turn good. They're not really fast off the corner. They don't really have a lot of grip. They're not aerodynamic. It makes it fun to drive though. Like, it makes it fun when everybody has that disadvantage. It's like, the best driver is going to win. Like, whoever's got it figured out the best is going to win. They suck. They absolutely suck to drive. So I'm excited to see you guys, or get you guys to see, how much trouble I'm in half the time in the race. How much there's going to be a lot of, I just realized it's going to have to bleep out a lot of stuff. I'll be talking.
No, what's great about that though, right? Because is that when you see that, right, you're in it. And like you said, they're not easy. So to give everyone a little context, right, because I've done enough research to know the difference of some of these. Like, if you've seen NASCAR on TV, these cars are set up so well. I mean, listen, they barely have to tap a wheel this much to make that car move. Mm-hmm. And it responds really well. These legend cars, I don't know how they could steer them because their hands are like this, guys. I mean, it is so tight, so clutch. And what's interesting about that is, like, yeah, you said it looks like chaos. Well, isn't that kind of like life? Like, it's all around us. It's everyday moment. But what I'm kind of excited about seeing this live is seeing how you overcome that. Like, when all the chaos is coming at you, you got all these cars, like you said, they don't, like, they're drifting, they don't hold, they don't stick. Like, you've got to learn your car to the track. Is you have to deal with that, and you have to deal with it in the moment. And I think that's kind of the exciting part is, hey, when stuff's all coming together, right? And we might say F this and F that, because let's get real. You're going like, oh shit, and it's going crazy. Yeah. At the same time, it's like, it takes somebody with that type of discipline and that time of cool, like, even though you're verbalizing it, you're still cool figuring out how you do it. What do you do? What comes next? I got to see a little, what was it? The corner that someone caused an accident when you were at Worlds. Yeah. And you had to, like, and man, I'm going to tell you right now, you put me behind the car with all that nonsense happening. I'm not holding listen, I'm hitting the brakes and doing something stupid. So the fact that you like powered right through it, I was like, whoa, because it was, I mean, that was all, I mean, you guys are all there and that wreck happens, and it can take you out or you can power through it. So I think it's really, really cool to see the calm under pressure, right? Like, to see the reaction to it. And like you said, hey, if something's not going right, being able to talk and being like, hey, this is a little loose. This is a little, like, so that, you can make adjustments, or adjustments can be made. What's the goal for this year for we'll talk about it in 3 different versions. What's the goal that you want to see for yourself, right? Because obviously I know you have goals both in your development and in your racing, but then what's the goal for the team? And then what's the goal for the future? Like, where do you see, the things in the future? Let's start with your goal and then move to the team in the future.
Yeah. So, I'll do it for my racing first. The only thing I don't have in the legend car world is a world championship. For legend cars, there's dirt oval and then asphalt oval and then road course stuff. I never really did any dirt racing. My grandpa always said dirt's dirty, we don't like it. That's as far as it ever got. So we never really got to do much dirt, but on the oval, I won 2 national championships on the oval in the pro division. So the best legend car drivers in the world, I beat them all twice. So I'm very, very happy that I was able to do that, but I never got to say that on the road course. I've won a bunch of races and I've, done some really cool stuff on the road course and had some really good finishes in the world finals and the main world events, but I've never been there in the points all year. And, the points for legend car racing are a little bit more, you got to stay at it. It's a little bit more steadfast. So you have to have up to, for the road course, it's 9 races and your 10th race is the main event for the final end of the year. With running so much oval stuff and trying to get those national championships, we never physically had the time to go road course racing. But now with Scott and with, everything we've got going on, we're going to be able to have tons of road course races before that main event at the end of the year. So we're going to be able to get ourselves in great position with points, go to world finals and, try to attack it, obviously win it. I still haven't won one of those either. So I've got, a 3rd place and a 4th place. And, they've been some troubled races. They've been had some trials and tribulations in those, but, I just want that world championship. I know Scott wants it too. I want it really bad. For my racing development, I just want to get more wins. Starting this thing, I was kind of worried about trying to get the name and the news of it out there. Everybody knows that, I'm a legend car driver. I know what I'm doing. I'm quick, but I was worried about how I was going to tell people, that I was doing it, that this was an opportunity that, they could work with. I've recently figured out that, the best way to advertise yourself is to just win, just do good and just do what you're going to do. And, it'll speak for itself. You can do all this work and, advertise here and there and pass out stuff. And, you can do a lot of word of mouth stuff, but the best way it's going to work is if you, show your worth and, really produce what you think you can. And, I just want to keep doing that. I just want to keep showing people, my value at the racetrack. And, it's not really just behind the wheel. It's, in between a headset and on a radio and, coaching. We're learning all these, all the data stuff with the legend cars. We have opportunities to do telemetry and throttle position stuff. So I'm going to turn into a little F1 race engineer with this. I'm going to have my jacket on, I'll be looking official sitting there with my laptop at the racetrack. But, I just want to keep showing people, my value, that I know I have. And a lot of people are starting to realize it, but, I just want to keep showing it. It's really cool.
That's great. So I'm guessing then that means you're going to be focused on the road course, which is the one that obviously, has twists, turns, and all kinds of fun stuff in it. And then your other teammate, Regan, is he then going to be taking oval track or where does he fit into the team?
Yeah. Reagan's going to be doing all the oval track stuff. I'm going to be doing a couple oval track races here and there. I know there's some stuff and there's some really cool tracks up north that I never had the opportunity to race on. So I just kind of want to be the little kid and be like, oh, I want to go race there, just to say I did it. But Reagan is primarily just doing the oval stuff. If I can drag him over to the road course to show him, to kind of talk crap about it, show him what's up, I will. But Reagan's doing the oval stuff. I'm doing the road course stuff. That way we don't butt heads too much. Me and Reagan get along well. I think he's a great teammate. Not only behind the wheel, I think he's good, but in the sense of just me, Scott, and Reagan all standing in a circle, I think we all three bring something really good to the table and something very different to the table. And that's the only way if you got four dudes that, all bring something the same, you ain't got nothing. But
you're gonna be really good at that one thing, but not great at anything. Right?
Yeah. So, I've got my coaching stuff and, I've got a lot of experience behind the wheel, and, Scott's the button and tie guy. Scott's the talker. He's the one that gets this all organized for us. And Scott's done a lot of stuff for me that I never would have thought. I have a lot of opportunities just like this one, me talking to you right now. I have to say, thanks to Scott for that one. So, he's been a huge part of my life and my racing career. And then Reagan, on the setup side and, the actual mechanic side of it, Reagan's very knowledgeable and very smart with it. He's just a good guy to bounce ideas off of. And he's very valuable on the team. So I think us three are going to be a force to be reckoned with. I think it's going to be very dangerous for everybody else. It's going to be good for us, but, we're going to be dangerous to see at the racetrack.
That's good though. And listen, you guys have a car that if I didn't know anything about Legends cars, which I know very little, like just as much as I could research so I didn't sound like super dumb, like asking questions, but is like when I see your car, it just pops. Like, your car has this, like, and I saw the race at the World, so I saw other cars, and there's some cool ones for sure that like the colors, the motif, like, but your guys' car, when I saw it, I was like, dude, it just looks dangerous. It just looks mean. Like, so, I feel fortunate that, my logo's on the back of your guys' trunk and everything else, but the 7 and the blue and the gold, like, it just looks really, intimidating. Now, when you guys are doing this, like, and I'm curious because obviously, I work in the automotive industry, you guys race cars, and, is like, do you guys see people out there like that, or dealerships where this is a thing where, the local dealerships actually like know this is going on and like support this, or is this something that's just supported by like the racing community? Like, how do you see that in those communities?
It's primarily just a racing community thing. Even when you kind of branch out of legend cars, you'll have some, I guess, some of the automotive industry kind of like taps into it every once in a while. But like for legend car stuff, everything's made in Charlotte, North Carolina at the factory, or if not, it's, that's where it's picked from. That's where everything's at. And so, everything that's on these cars are they're for the legend car. They're racing based. So, I think it's a lot of the racing community kind of holding them up and kind of, keeping it all alive in and of itself. From recent years, from when I started 10 years ago and now, I've noticed, there's been a bunch of tracks closing. Myrtle Beach is one that comes to mind of, racetracks kind of falling off and closing, and also race series kind of like dropping car counts and stuff like that. But legend cars are kind of the exact opposite for real. Like they have, we've added a lot of car counts. The New England stuff up there's a lot of cars for the road courses. Usually down in the South is primarily where you want to go racing. That's where the most races is. It's the warmest. It's where, Charlotte, North Carolina, that's the area around there. That's where it's got the most oval racetracks for everything, that's where you want to be. But the road course scene up there is seeming to get more cars than the North Carolina, South Carolina scene has ever done. We're getting 40, 50 cars, it seems like, just about for a weekend. That's all it is 2 days for racing. So I think the racing community is really, really starting to get going again, especially the legend car side of it. It's going to be very exciting.
No, I think that's great because just getting to see a couple of those races. So I have Flow Racing, right? Scott told me to get it so I could watch this because for me to fly from West Coast out to each one of your guys' races. But I've seen some NASCAR and it's fine. F1 is always interesting, but I want to see the wreck first before it gets really interesting. Just because at 200 miles an hour, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But like the Legends car, because how quick they're running through stuff, and like you said, they don't have that same agility. So it's the driver, right? It's it kind of reminds me. I know it sounds crazy, and it probably dates myself, and you might not even remember it, but it reminds me of Days of Thunder, because like he's like, it doesn't matter. It's the driver, right? Like you put him in any car and it's the driver. It really does remind me of that because you see these guys that are flying through there, and it really is knowing your car and really getting into it, right? And being passionate about it. So I think it's fantastic. I look forward to you guys having, I told Amelia, I've told Scott, eventually when we get Reagan on here, is that I'm looking for you guys to get on the podium, you know, each time, like, just because I think, like you said, it's not just about the winning. The winning's great because it shows that your discipline and your efforts gotten you to where you are. But it's also those accolades of showing people the mentality and the attitude you guys have and what you're striving for. And like you said, okay, I've gotten some national championships, but you're like, I'm still going for this. Like, I'm not any less dead set on getting to this and this. And now I want to show kids and teach kids in the younger generation how to do it as well, because that's the winning mentality, right? Anyone can win one and say, well, yeah, I got a trophy, but then what, right? It's, you know, what's your second thing? Like, and it's funny when you talk about advertising, because until this year, you know, this is my 5th year as being a consultant out on my own. Never made a cold call, never went out and talked to anyone. It was all based on referrals, because it would be people would see what I do and they'd be like, man, how do we get that? How do we get that? And I think you're right. That is the pure attribution of, like, people want to associate with success. And when they see it, they're like, no, I want that. They don't care what the other one, the flash in the show. They want the one that's doing the results. Which I think is great. Now, when is your guys' first race? Isn't it coming up here?
It's next weekend.
Okay, so like starting in March, we got race season upon it. And then how long does the road course season go?
Yeah, so the road course season's kind of weird. This is going to be the first road course race of the season, and then it's going to be my only road course race until like June. So we'll race this one winter heat race. This is at Dominion Raceway. It's in Virginia, and that's where the world event is at the end of the year. So we're taking the whole team down. You know, going to get PJ's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Our crew chief Sean Buffington's going to be there. So we're going to get that going and you know, really get the notebooks out, start jotting down everything we need. So you know, obviously we want to win the races. I'm primarily set on, you know, just getting my notebook filled. If I can, you know, help myself and learn as much as I can, I know the race will take care of itself. I know I'll be there at the end of it, but you know, I'm really just looking forward to the big picture at the end of the year. I want to be able to like blow up the legend car. I'll catch it on fire if we win the race in the front stretch or something. Like I want that race so bad. There's no way I can explain it to you, but after that race, I won't be doing anything till June. I think it's right at the start of June. It might be a little bit before that. But there's 2 months, from June to August, I'll do 19 road course races. So I'll be, you know, banging them out. I'll be running them all the time. Scott's going to want to kick me out of his house because I'll be there for a long time.
I was going to say, yeah, you're just sleeping on the couch type of thing. Like
exactly. Sleeping with the Frenchies. That'll be great. But
yeah, so it's interesting you say that. So you're going to go do this road course, and I want to just hit it so people understand, because I always like giving, when people are talking about what they do, all these parallels, right? Because I think people miss them, right? And there's so many things that are relatable. Is that you said, look, you want to go win this race, you know, your first race. Like, who doesn't, right? You didn't go in there, but your main objective is getting all your notes and everything else, because you know that's where Worlds is at. And I want everyone to really understand what, like you just heard. So yes, he wants to win. His eye's not off the ball. But if he didn't, let's say he came in second, third, fourth, right? But he got all the notes he needed. He's also understanding the big picture of getting the notes so that when Worlds comes, he knows the track, he knows the setup, he knows all the things he needs to do. So he's prepared long-term, right? And I think I love hearing that, mostly because people always go like, well, I want it right now. It only matters about today, not about tomorrow. Well, no, like, yes, in the sense of the moment today, but if you have a thought for future, or if you're building something, you also have to look at like how you get better and how you prepare for what's coming. And the fact that you come away with notes, you're like, okay, now we know at this turn, at that turn, at this bump, at whatever it is. Now it's like, okay, now there's no excuses when Worlds come. Because now you, like, not saying you have a lot of practice on the track, but now you know where it was, how it sets up, what it does, and you can get even tighter, because that's how you get to where you want to be, is getting better every single situation. So I appreciate you saying that. I love it. I love your passion. I mean, Scott can't say enough nice things about you, and like how driven you are, which that was part of the intrigue, is just people that want to get to a certain level. And then when you get there, you're like, okay, now what? Like, what's next? It wasn't like, okay, we've achieved it, like, we're cool. No, it's not about maintaining. It's about constantly getting better. So I think that's great. Now, when it comes to you, like, what's something like, because I want to wrap things up with a couple things that are unique, because we want to get to know you a little bit more, but on a personal level, what's something weird people don't know about you that they'd be surprised if they knew?
Oh man, I don't know. Dang, man. Well, I mean, if we're going fun facts, right after I get off the phone, or right after we get off this call now, I would turn my camera around. I got laundry sprawled out on my bed. That's what you're sitting on right now. Me and my girlfriend are going out. We're going hiking and going camping for a couple of days. So I love the outdoors. I love being out there. Spring's coming around. It's warm back where I'm at. 50 degrees is warm to me. I live in Kentucky. I'm going outside, baby. It's no longer snow on the ground. So, I like being outside. I like staying out there as much as I can. What else?
Let's do this. When you're not driving that really super fast Legends car, what do you drive on your everyday driver?
Oh man. So I got two cars. My daily driver's a 2009 CLS 550. I love it. It's fast.
It's one of the best cars ever made.
It is so expensive on maintenance, dude. It sucks. It hurts, but it's so fun. It's sitting out in the driveway now. I bought that thing because I was 15. I got a big paycheck from a race. I bought a 92 Miata. I've restored it. I've put a lot of money into it. It's the 92. It's the M spec before the M spec Miata was a thing. So I got the stock BBSs on it. It's got the speakers in the headrest. That's my baby. It's sitting in my grandparents' house under a car cover in a garage. It just sits there. I'm going to have it for the rest of my life. The CLS, it might be for sale here soon. I don't want to sell it, but I'm looking at getting a camper for my racing stuff instead of going and buying a hotel every weekend. I'm just gonna take my apartment with me. So I think I'm gonna get something to take it with,
like a toy hauler type thing where you can take it with you and just be done, or
no, I'm just
like a Class B motorhome type camper.
Really, I was thinking about like a fifth wheel, but I kind of don't want to buy a big truck either. I'm trying to do it the cheapest way. So we're looking, we're still looking at options. I don't want a Class A. I do not want one of those. I do not want that responsibility.
Yeah, that's a monster. Yeah.
Holy cow, man. I'll take the little tiny race car.
You can't race a motorhome.
I'll take the little tiny race car, not the bus, dude. Jeez.
Well, that's great. And then favorite food. What's the favorite food that, like, something you can eat every day?
Hamburgers, dude. I will eat a hamburger for every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No problems asked. If I had to get rid of hamburgers, it would definitely be anything with rice in it. If you give me a protein that's sitting on rice, it's game over. So
you're a big fan of sushi then?
Yeah, huge fan of sushi.
Now, something that, like, if I show up at your race, I'm going to bring you something, and you're like, man, please don't bring me this. What's your least favorite thing that you want someone to don't want to eat?
Anything salty. Really, like, for some reason, I hate beef jerky at the racetrack. The sodium, all the salt, I don't like it getting in there and dehydrating me, but I feel like it's bad luck as well. Like, I was able to take my girlfriend and my grandpa to my race this past weekend, and they bought a bag of beef jerky, and I specifically asked to not have it taken into the racetrack. I was like, I don't want it. I don't want it there. I think it's bad luck. I forget who said it. I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious. There's a couple things.
I get it. Like, there's some things you're like, hey, we just don't do these things. Okay. They're just part of the tradition. So no, I think it's great just to kind of get to the personal side of you and understanding how you start and what your passion is. So, cause like with Street Smarts and Smartwolf Consulting, I do a lot of coaching, a lot of training, but also it's about doing a podcast and introducing people that, one, are passionate, but like lead by example and win, right? It's like seeing different strokes of life. So I had somebody that's in real estate. I've had somebody that's, the racing team. Like, it's, you can win in the automotive industry. It's really about attitude, determination, and drive, but it's everywhere. And it's looking at people that, like, do you surround yourself with the right type of people that are, like you said, that are moving to win, that are active, that are like diligent. Like when you started with Scott Allen, now it's okay. Now we've got Heady Racing Development, like bridging out from that. And it's the next levels. Is if you hang out with people that are okay with just being okay, then you can never really be great. So it's great to meet everyone gets to know you better. And I'm going to personally say that, listen, I hope you're the best this season, because I will be at probably one, if not two of your guys' races, because I will be traveling around doing speaking engagements, one of which I think is correlating to where you guys are at. So I'm pretty excited about that. But I hope that you get exactly what you want and your guys' team. I'm looking for you guys to be on top, to where it's like, it's like you guys have always done good, and then all of a sudden I want to see all four of you guys just be like, it's like Scott Allen, just all of a sudden it's like, oh, we had two people that were doing great, and then it's like now we have just a team that dominates, right? I think there's just something about that.
Yeah. I want us all four fighting over that top pedestal at the end.
Yeah.
Like,
the only people fighting for the win, right? Like I won, you didn't. Like part of that's a healthy competition too. Like even if Amelia only wins a bando race, right? Like now it's that challenge to you guys. Like, well, man, she won. Now I have to win, right? It makes everybody iron sharpens iron type of thing.
Yeah, seriously.
So, well, hey, I appreciate you taking the time, buddy. We're gonna wrap things up. And guys, as we always, like to sign off with Street Smarts, we're hoping you guys learned at least one thing, right? Not just learning, meeting Caleb, but like one thing, whether it become adversity, dealing with the chaos, staying consistent, right? Or, always challenge yourself to get to that next level, because at the end of the day, okay, you can do whatever you want to do, but it always starts with starting, right? So we thank you guys for coming on, and Caleb, stay with me for just 1 second.